Alright, so Netflix just dropped its most watched anime list for the second half of 2024, and let me tell you, this lineup is pretty wild. Now, we all know Netflix has become one of the biggest players in anime streaming, and the numbers back it up. In 2023 alone, Netflix brought in a mind-blowing $2.07 billion from anime streaming, which means they were responsible for 38% of the total global anime streaming revenue. That's almost half of the entire anime streaming industry in their pocket. Crazy, right? With Netflix being such a dominant force in anime, it naturally makes you wonder, which anime are actually driving these insane viewership numbers? What shows are people absolutely binging? Well, lucky for us, we've got brand new data giving us a full breakdown of the most watched anime on Netflix for the second half of 2024, including the total hours people spent watching them. And just so we're clear, this isn't coming out of nowhere. This info comes from Pascal J. Bonney, a respected anime industry advisor who's been dropping these insights for years. In fact, he was the one who also gave us the most watched anime rankings for the past few years, including the first half of 2024. So yeah, it's safe to say this dude knows what he's talking about. Now, before we jump into the top 10 most watched anime on Netflix, do me a solid, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss out on updates like this. Trust me, we've got a lot more content coming your way, and you don't want to be left out. Alright, now that we've got that covered, let's dive right into it. Coming in at the top spot, we have the legendary Naruto series as the most watched anime on Netflix in 2024, racking up a jaw-dropping 330 million hours watched. Yeah, you read that right. Even though the series wrapped up over a decade ago, it still holds the crown, and honestly, that's kind of wild. But at the same time, should we really be that surprised? Naruto isn't just an anime, it's a global phenomenon. Even people who don't watch anime know who Naruto Uzumaki is. His journey from an outcast to the greatest Hokage is one of the most inspiring underdog stories in anime history. With its legendary fights, heart-wrenching storytelling, and iconic characters, it's no wonder Naruto is still pulling insane numbers. Seeing it take the #1 spot in 2024, that just proves its staying power. What makes this even crazier is that last year was stacked with some absolute bangers on Netflix. One Piece, Demon Slayer, Dandadan, and more were all going crazy in terms of popularity, and yet Naruto still dominated. It's been a consistent top performer on Netflix for years, usually claiming a top 2 spot, so this isn't just a fluke, it's an anime staple that refuses to fade. Now, if you had asked me before this list dropped, I honestly would have bet on One Piece taking the crown. The Egghead Island arc has been straight fire, and with all the hype surrounding the series lately, it just felt like One Piece would be on top, and technically it was. One Piece actually claimed the #1 spot for the first half of 2024, but why didn't it hold on to it for the rest of the year? Well, it's probably because the anime went on hiatus later in the year, which slowed down its momentum. This just goes to show how legendary Naruto and Boruto truly are, racking up massive viewership numbers every single year. Even with the Naruto anime ending over a decade ago and the Boruto anime being on an indefinite hiatus for 2 years now, the love for the franchise is still undeniable. And as a huge fan of both series, it honestly makes me happy to see that their legacy is still as strong as ever. Now let's dive into the rest of the most watched anime on Netflix in the second half of 2024, because some of these rankings are actually pretty wild. Coming in at #2, we have One Piece with a massive 316 million hours watched. No surprises there. One Piece has been dominating the anime and manga world for decades. It was even the most watched anime on Netflix in the first half of 2024, thanks to the Egghead Island arc heating up and Gear 5 Luffy literally breaking the internet. As I mentioned earlier, if not for the hiatus later in the year, One Piece probably would have held onto the #1 spot. At #3, we have Demon Slayer with a staggering 208 million hours watched, and honestly, that placement feels pretty fair. With its insane animation, non-stop hype fights, and the god-tier visuals of the Hashira training arc, Demon Slayer continues to prove why it's one of the most successful and beloved new-gen anime. At this point, it's basically a cultural phenomenon, and it's only getting bigger. Coming in at #4, we have Pokemon with a massive 170 million hours watched, and honestly, not surprising at all. Pokemon is literally one of the biggest franchises in the world, with over 2 decades of anime and still going strong. Whether it's the nostalgia nostalgia, the constant new generations, or just the sheer cultural dominance, Pokemon stays winning. At number 5, we have Black Clover with an impressive 138 million plus hours watched. And as a huge Black Clover fan, this one makes me hyped. Even though the anime has been on an indefinite hiatus for years, it's still pulling crazy numbers, proving just how much people love this series. Yeah, Black Clover had a rocky start, but once it hit its stride, it became one of the most hyped battle shonen anime out there. Seeing it still get this much love absolutely deserves. So far, if you ask me, this list is looking pretty valid. Every anime here earned its spot considering the massive impact they've had on the anime world. Coming in at number 6, we have Hunter x Hunter with 138 million hours watched, just a little below Black Clover. And let's be real, Hunter x Hunter deserves all the flout. This anime isn't just good, it's legendary. It's often considered one of the greatest shonen of all time, and for a good reason. With its brilliant storytelling, deep character development, rich world building, and one of the most intricate power systems in anime, it delivers on every level. Yeah, the series has been on a long hiatus, but with everything it brings to the table, it's easy to see why people still keep coming back to it. Now, the 7th spot actually caught me off guard because we have the 7 Deadly Sins with a shocking 128 million hours watched. I'll be real with you, I did not expect this to be on the list, let alone this high. Don't get me wrong, 7 Deadly Sins started off strong with its fun characters and solid world building. But let's not ignore the elephant in the room, that animation drop in the later seasons was rough. Like, we're talking meme-worthy levels of rough. So I'm genuinely surprised that enough people watched it to push it this high up the list. Are you surprised too? Because I definitely wasn't expecting this. Coming in at number 8, we have My Hero Academia with a massive 127 million hours watched. And honestly, this one makes total sense. MHA is an undisputed shonen powerhouse, easily one of the most popular new-gen anime with a massive fan base. Plus, with the release of Season 7 last year, which was an absolute hit, it's no shock that it made the list. But below 7 Deadly Sins, really? Now that's the part that's throwing me off. With MHA's insane fight sequences, emotional moments, and top-tier animation, you'd think it would rank higher than SDS. But hey, numbers don't lie, people really showed up for 7 Deadly Sins. Coming in at number 9, we have Dandadan with a wild 97 million hours watched, and honestly, well deserved. Dandadan was one of the breakout new-gen anime that absolutely dominated fall 2024, blending ghosts, aliens, action, comedy, and even romance into one of the most unique, fast-paced anime experiences out there. Personally, I actually thought it would rank higher considering how much hype it had, but hey, cracking the top 10 most watched anime on Netflix is still a massive W. And last but definitely not least, coming in at number 10, we have Jujutsu Kaisen with a jaw-dropping 87 million hours watched. Now this one is kind of crazy to me. JJK is one of the most popular, well-known anime out there, an absolute juggernaut in the industry. It's constantly pushing the boundaries of what shonen can be, and with how insane season 2 was, you'd think it would rank higher. But what makes this even more impressive, Jujutsu Kaisen still made the list despite not having any new episodes airing during this period. That just goes to show how unstoppable this anime really is. And there you have it, Netflix's most watched anime of the second half of 2024. Some of these rankings were expected, while others were straight up shocking. Seriously, 7 Deadly Sins ranking higher than My Hero, wild. But one thing's for sure, anime is thriving more than ever, and it's amazing to see so many different series getting the recognition they deserve. But now I want to hear from you. What do you think about this list? Did any of these rankings surprise you, or was it exactly what you expected? And which anime do you think will dominate Netflix in 2025? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more anime content, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.